Hello, for those who don't know me, I'm Brother Sean, and the theme of this short YouTube video is wolves in sheep's clothing. Wolves in sheep's clothing. What's that all about? Well, let's take a back step and let's see if we can give the memory a jolt. Have you ever experienced someone in your life, in your faith journey, who's spouting off about, take for example, the born-again Christian fraternity, which I used to be a member of, and they're really giving it some welly. That's the saying we had in Ireland for giving it a lot of impetus. And they really are levitating off the ground. I can just see them now, and I'm hid behind a pillar because their eyes were everywhere. And then, a few days later, you read in the paper that this particular person was not the person he said he was. He was talking the walk, but not walking the talk. As a Franciscan lay monastic who lives a simple life, I am aware today that there are many eminent spiritual teachers who do speak to my heart. Eckhart Tolle is one. Colin Urquhart is another. Gandhi. Many of the teachings from Osho and Mia Baba, and of course Jesus and Francis. But here are a group of people who didn't talk the walk, they walked the talk. But today there's a new breed of spiritual teacher, and they have this insatiable knack of drawing people to them. They have such a wonderful, loving personality. But there's something about them that tells you, be aware, be on your guard. And there are many spiritual teachers today who are leading many of God's children off their path because they're so convinced by their philosophy that this is the only philosophy, it is the only way. And here we have to be more discerning. And I remember being given guidance from Jesus back in 2001 that the students that he and Magdalena would lead to me, would refer to me, for them to train them using my skills. They weren't coming to me because I was a great teacher, because I wasn't a teacher. I was the mentor, the facilitator. The teacher was the barefoot Galilean, the cosmic Christ and Magdalena. And I was always guided to say that in the books I've published, which were divinely inspired, I was told to say this to each person who read those books, that if anything in those books does not resonate with your heart, bin it. I won't be offended. I won't be offended. But I do know that there are others, however well-meaning, and their word is like God. They dictate their terms and conditions and enslave many vulnerable souls to following their path, not empowering them, their student, to find their own path. But no, They're empowering the student follow the teacher's path. And that is alien to my belief, because the God I subscribe to is a God of love. And I'm not under any pressure whatsoever to follow Jesus the barefoot Galilean. I'm invited. I'm invited. And I'm also encouraged to run everything that I'm given through my heart and filter it in prayer. And if it doesn't resonate, then to challenge God and ask for clarity. Ask for a simpler definition or meaning. So today we must be on our guard. That's why I'm not encouraged anymore to read as many books as I used to, because so many are writing about their theory. And they're wanting you to buy into that theory. And what is so tragic is that the society we live in, so many are lost souls. They're drifters. They're neither hot nor cold. They're tepid. They want to better themselves. They know they've got to do the work, but they would rather you do it for them. Do you know what I mean? Have you met such people? Scary. And that seems to be the culture that we're in today. It's a culture I refer to as a nannying culture. People do not want to do the work to improve their spiritual life. They want you to do it for them because it's too painful. It's too difficult. And besides, they don't have the time, because their life is full of pressure and stress. So they go on looping, as we say in counselling. They loop from one crisis to another. Or they'll spend a fortune, they'll travel around the world to see their favourite spiritual teacher, and they will sit there, mouth wide open, gobsmacked, taking it all in, but doing nothing about it. And when they come home, their friends will say, where were you? We missed you. Oh, I went to see so-and-so. Oh, they were marvellous. Where were they? Oh, they were in South Africa. You mean you went to South Africa? Oh, yes, yes. Such a person. There's thousands go to them. Oh, yes. And what did you learn from it? Well, that's an interesting question. I don't really know. What's that saying to you? They don't really know. I remember watching the video Brother Sun and Sister Moon many years ago, and I was transfixed. Absolutely, utterly transfixed by this young man, Francis, and this young woman, Claire of Assisi. And later on in my life, I've seen it again and again and again. And there's something about the story being reenacted of their love affair for God and the lengths they've to go through to heal themselves, so that they can receive the pearls of great price and an abundance of love. Today, you and I are commissioned by the company of heaven to embrace the I am presence within you and listen to that inner voice, and not allow any external influences lead you off your path, and they will, if you're not discerning, if you're not disciplined. And what if you go to a convention and they talk about God is this and God does that, but God does not want you living such and such a life because you're a sinner? Take that information and bring it to the I am presence inside you. Run it by your filters. Share it with your God And don't be surprised if what you hear contradicts what was told to you at that convention. Many, many, many children of God who go off the beaten track and follow their ego, they become corrupted by ego, and they lose the simplicity of the message. God has no favorites, and God does not punish those who dare to challenge him. Always filter what you're given, and if it resonates, use it. If it doesn't, bin it. And you may be a much wiser teacher than you thought you were. Thank you.